Hello. Wife's asked me to try to make an apple and a pear out of some wood, which I've seen done before by people, but I've never done it myself, so I thought I'll give it a go. So I've got some wood from the park. Well, I shouldn't probably do that. But I've chopped a few bits and bobs off it. I'm going to see if I can turn it into an apple. And I've got a second piece which hopefully I'll turn into a pear. Fingers crossed, it goes okay. I'm going to start by basically just getting rid of a bit of the crap on the side of it, a bit of the bark, try and get it relatively circular. I'm not sure whether this one's going to be the apple or the pear. I think both pieces will probably be fine for either. So that's the other piece, which a few bits and bobs taken off it, but for the most part it's okay. It's quite wobbly, so I've started up a couple of times just to make sure it's solid, which it is, but it is quite shaky, so I've strapped down my setup. You can see that, but it sits on a board, and that way I can push it out of the way if I want to do something else. So yeah, let's crack on and give it a go. So first as always, I'll speak to you later. Once I've got all this set up, I shall do the same to the other blank. It's going to wobble. You see it. There's quite a lot of bad splits in this wood as well, so just be a little bit careful. So I'm going to try and chop off a few of these more substantial areas. Try and possibly chop that bit off there. So there we have our two blanks. That one is slightly taller, so I think this one is probably going to be the pear. That one's going to be the apple. Yeah, chances are I've not made that small enough looking at it, so I'll probably just need to stick that back on, just make that dowel, that tenon a little bit smaller. That one's be fine. The pear, that one's the apple. So let's start with the pear. I'm not sure which one's easier, whether one is easier or not, I have no idea. Trying the idea of whether or not to support the wood. I don't think it'll hurt, it is still quite a big bit, quite a lot of splits in it. So I think I probably will. except it kind of looks more like an onion than a pear at the moment, but I create like almost like a dent in there so that it curves a little bit. Two basic shapes, so I'm quite happy with the apple. It looks really, quite nice actually. I'm generally quite pleased with that. The pear, yeah, it's still an onion. Good if you want an onion. Fantastic if you want an onion. See if I can get creative. So let's try and turn this from an onion into a pear. I'm going to use this, but I might try just basic sandpaper. I might try just a basic sander. So, got these sticks from when I was cutting up this wood here. Pulled off a couple of these sticks. I was throwing them away actually, I threw them away, but I've been in bin. I think these will make almost perfect toppers for the items. So, I'm going to try and drill a bit of a hole. Try and do it safely as best I can. Typical. Bit of glue. Always wear gloves. Like I don't. Bit of an idiot. And there we have. Not a bad purr actually. I'm quite pleased with that. I just need to sand down this when the glue's set a little bit, but I'm generally quite pleased with that. As he breaks it. Generally quite pleased with that. There we go. So, literally didn't start with any idea of what I was doing. She literally asked me an hour ago, what are you up to with that Apple and Pear that you promised me? And I was like, I haven't even started them. So yeah, so an apple and a pear. Fingers crossed you like them. I like them. I think I'm quite pleased with those. I just like the grain of the wood. The wood's I don't know what the wood is, but yeah, I just think it looks like a really nice little grain of wood. Little splits just kind of like make it look a bit more like an actual apple. I still think the pear looks a little bit like an onion, but I don't know. Just adding that little bit at the end, something like a finial, isn't it? Just adding that little bit at the end has made all the difference. So fingers crossed. I get a thumbs up. There's just something missing from them, so I decided to, you've got the finials at the top, make them look realistic. But I thought I'll just glue in a little bit of bark at the bottom, tiniest little bit of bark. Hopefully you can see that pretty well. Same with the pear, it's yeah. So now I am genuinely quite pleased with them. So I'm gonna do a little bit of finishing on these. There we go. So I'm going to put a little bit of this stuff. There we go, polished up. I was happy before, I'm even happier now. Even the cracks, I just think the cracks just add so much to them. It just, the little dent there, I think it just adds to them. I think it makes them look brilliant. One happy man.